Hello everyone. Welcome to Ask Teacher Mala page. I am Teacher Mala, the Balance Seminar Series. Tonight is the first night of this series. I will be talking to our first speaker, Teacher Shawi Cortez, about nature and play. She will she will tell us how we can bring our classrooms outside. Teacher Shawi is the founder of Forest School Philippines. She is also a certified level forest school teacher. I'm so excited to hear more about nature and play. Let me introduce Teacher Shawi. But before that, if you have any questions, please type it in the comment box. We will answer the questions at the end of the webinar. Teacher Shawi.
Hi, Teacher Mala.
Teacher Shawi, can you tell us more about yourself?
Sure. So, as you have mentioned, I am a forest school level 3 leader. Ano siya, parang principal level. Certified under Archimedes, a UK-based forest school training provider. So, I officially started the first forest school session in Amadeo, Cavite last June 2019, and my work has been seen in the Manila Times, in DZRH, news, television, radio, I think, among a few others. Personal story, in 2008, when my sister gave birth to a daughter, her name is Maya. So she's the first apo. And because she's the first apo, we wanted to give the best to her. We wanted her to be successful, and our idea of preparing her for the future looked like this. So at 3 years old, naka-enroll na siya sa preschool. Tapos, pagdating ng grade 1, my sister enrolled her in a reading class and in Chinese school. So we really focused on the academics. Yung laro niya is limited to the indoors. Tapos we were very protective of her, bawal masugat, bawal makagat ng insekto. And as a result of that protection, she somehow received the message na parang everything has to be perfect. So she's afraid of making mistakes, ganyan. And she became dependent of us in the sense na she cannot think for herself and she easily gives up. She doesn't use her voice to express what she wants. So parang everything na lang, Mommy, what will I do? Or Mommy, can you come with me? Ganon. Fast forward to 2016, that's when I discovered about Forest School. And at the same time, my sister had a second daughter na. So Deborah, she's already 2 years old that time. And I began to share the Forest School principles with her. Na in-apply niya naman. So Deborah was given ample time outdoors. And puro play. She was not enrolled in any of the schools, but we saw that she loves to keep on trying, and she really takes pride in doing things by herself. So, in other words, we saw her enjoy her childhood. So when I saw this effect on her, I knew that we found something that works. So because of that, I've been a staunch believer of nature and play as the best education for kids. So now, as my sister had her third child, and even with the pandemic, we braved the outdoors, and I took it upon myself to take the pamangkins outdoors.
Okay, but I'm curious. Why do you need to go outdoors? Why play in particular?
Right. So, let me briefly recap what we have discussed yesterday's opening webinar. Ano? So, I talked about it briefly yesterday, but for the benefit of those who weren't able to attend, let me go to nature first. So, bakit nga ba nature? There's a theory coined by Edward Wilson. He said, he came up with the term biophilia. So, bio meaning life, philia is love. So sabi niya doon, as human beings, we have the tendency to have a love of life. So we are naturally drawn to nature, 'di ba? So somehow, even if you just look at the sky, you have a different feeling kapag makakita ka ng puno along the sidewalk. You also feel refreshed. Okay, so what else? When you're out in nature, it reduces your stress levels. So, pag nasa labas ka and you are calm, hindi ka stressed, then the learning happens more. Kasi, not a lot of people really thrive inside a classroom. Many, to be honest, many struggle in classroom. And even, they cannot even sit still for a very long time. Another thing about nature is that it creates a sense of wonder. So, our brain is drawn to something that's new or unpredictable. Um, and you notice that even with the difference in seasons. So, kunyari, when we started going out, that was in May. Um, ano na kasi low risk na dito sa Ilocos. So, medyo mainit pa. We saw the fields were brown, so tuyot. But then, rainy season came. Pagdating ng June, everything became lush. And the kids, they were just full of wonder na parang the environment transformed. So that's the beauty of nature. And another thing is yung tinatawag na loose parts. It's very vital in child's play kasi so those loose parts, for example, the sticks and the stones, they serve as avenue for children to explore their creativity. So tulad nun, ang stick, hindi lang talaga siya stick but it has a lot of purpose to a child. It can be a sword, it can be a wand, or it can be a horse. So what it promotes is the child's creativity and imagination. Punta naman tayo sa play. So bakit nga ba play? There have been theorists or educators. I'm not sure which one said it na either Montessori or Jean Piaget, but they both said na play is the work of the child. So to us, sometimes you just see, laro-laro lang yan. Pero meron palang connection yung laro sa natututunan nila. And well, play, it being fun. So, hindi ba kahit naman tayo adults, if it's fun, parang madaling gawin and madali tayong natututo. I guess I just have to clarify and have to mention na ang play, for it to be really play, it has to be initiated by the child. Nabanggit ko rin kahapon na yung definition nga ng play na maganda, which I like, is play is when adults stop telling us, so ito, from the point of view of the child, is play is when adults stop telling me what to do.
Yes. And when it's fun, you remember it easily.
Right. Oo.
Correct.
Oo.
Yeah. When you put outdoor and play together, can you connect it to the holistic development of the child?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, as I discuss yung holistic development, I like to use the acronym SPICES. SPICES. Para madaling tandaan, ano? SPICES. S, social. P, physical. I, intellectual or cognitive. C, communication, E, emotional, and S, spiritual. Now, as I go through each of these development areas, I'd like to tell, stories or anecdotes of how it happened with us to just, to give a good example ng nature and play and how the holistic development is seen in these. Okay, so I mentioned that I have two pamangkins na I bring to the farm, Deb and Eli. So they're 6 and 2. Tapos when we go to a farm here in Ilocos, we reach the farmhouse, and pagdating doon, meron silang kalaro, yung mga pinsan din nila. So there's Anjing, Jane, and Sander. Anjing is 12, Jane is I think 9, and Sander is 6. So you see, it's really a mixed age group. And it's okay. 'Di ba? Hindi tulad sa classroom na dapat magkasama yung mga 6 years old, magkasama yung mga 7. But here, we love mixed ages. So let's go to the first. So yung
Oo.
social development. Okay? So one time, I think Jane wanted to make a mud cake. So 'di ba, yung mud cake, they use mud to form cake, imaginary cake, of course. And then, later on, sumama na yung ibang kalaro, ibang kids. Mamaya, yung isa nagdadala na ng water to make the mud, basta to make the mud liquidy. Tapos mamaya yung isa naman, nagpick na ng flowers to decorate the cake. So, what do you see there? You see that they don't see each other as a competition, but teammates or partners. What do they learn? They learn
Yeah.
cooperation. Diba? Another
Yeah.
example, isa lang yung puno na pwedeng akyatin. So they learn to take turns. Hindi pwedeng sabay-sabay kayo na aakyat. So they develop skills of negotiation. Si Eli muna. And then mamaya, si Jane naman. Okay? So they learn how to get along with each other. So that's the social skill. Next, physical skill naman. So when you're out in nature, there's really a lot of space. So, you see the kids running, climbing trees, walking several kilometers, or balancing on a log. And the physical development, so you see there's muscle growth, stamina, coordination, balance, and motor skills. Okay? So, yun yung physical. Intellectual development or cognition. There was one time na naglalakad kami sa yung Amor Seco field. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Amor Seco, pero
No,
these
no,
are
no.
like parang mga grass. So yung
Oh,
grass, tapos siya, matinik in the sense na they're spiky and they stick to your clothes. Tapos kapag dumikit siya sa damit mo, they pierce through your skin like a needle. Okay? So, yun yung first experience nila. So, the second time that we went back to that area, dun sa Amor Seco Fields, natuto na sila. So, next time, sabi nila, sige, taas na natin yung mga pants natin. Para hindi na sila masaktan doon sa Amor Seco. So, ano yung nakita natin doon na nag-develop? So, they had skills to think, they paid attention, and they learned, how to solve their problems.
yeah.
Okay?
Problem solving. Yeah, correct.
Problem solving, yes.
Yeah.
What else? Communication skills. Okay, so yung communication skills, one example I remembered is, so si Jane, she wanted Debbie to do something in Ilocano. Tapos
Okay.
sabi ni Debbie sa akin, Tita, what is Jane saying?
Okay.
Ako, bilang forest school leader na hindi talaga nagbibigay ng sagot, sabi ko, talk to her, ganyan. So they ended up, si Jane, doing charades para i-explain. So eventually, what happened was, yung play nila, nag-gets na ni Deb na gusto pala ni Jane for Debbie to run to her and then she will spin her around. So, even if it's different language, ano yung skills na natutunan nila doon? Vocabulary and the ability to send the message across. 'Di ba? Kahit na kahit na nung una hindi sila magkaintindihan. What else? E, emotional. Okay? So, going back to the example of the Amor Seco incident, so the first time that happened, si Deb, she was really furious and galit, nainis siya kasi nga it's not comfortable. So that experience taught her to express her emotions. If I remember correctly, umiyak pa nga ata siya noon and she said na, this is the worst day ever. But then after that, bumalik na rin kami sa farm. Diba? So what did she learn? She learned that, life throws problems at you, but you have to manage your emotions. It prepares you as an adult to be strong mentally. Kasi, and then if you develop that skill, then you're not easily stressed out pag may problema or tulad ng case natin ngayon, may pandemya, di ba?
Yeah.
So, and so in going back to that incident, when that happened, pagbalik namin dun sa farm, yung parang home base namin, yung isa sa mga pinsan, tinulungan siya na to pick out the amor seco from the thorns from her
Yeah.
pants. So,
Okay.
that's another emotional skill showing empathy naman, 'di ba?
Yeah, correct.
Yun. And the last na is S. Tama ba?
Yeah.
Spices. S. So we're in spiritual na. So in this area, it's not the religious sense, pero it's finding your place in the world. So when you're outside, when the kids are outside in nature playing, they see the sky. They see the carabao that's bigger than them. They see the mountain in the background, which seems near yet so far. So, they have a sense na, wow, alak pala ng mundo. Tapos, ay, ang liit ko lang pala. So, that changes their, perspective. Yon. So, that's the spices. But I would like to add other areas of holistic development that's found through nature and play. Okay? So, what is this? So, when children are playing out in nature, it prepares them for the skills of the future.
Yeah.
There's a study in 2018 by Dr. Jion Shin and Dr. Jean Lomino investigating the characteristics of the children in a forest kindergarten. So ano to, alam ko sa Amerika, tong study na ginawa na to. And the findings from that data is that the character strength that the kids showed the most is creativity. Okay? So ano
Okay.
naman ang connection nun, ng creativity with preparing them for the skills of the future? There's a published article in the World Economic Forum. The title says, what are the 21st century skills every student needs? And the top three were, first, complex problem solving, second, critical thinking, and third, creativity. So, if you want your child to be prepared for the future, creativity is essential. And what's the best way based on the study? Forest kindergarten or forest school, which combines both nature and play. Okay?
And problem solving also is very important because
Yeah.
we face challenges every day.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oo, 'di ba tulad nung nabanggit kong example kanina, kahit sa laro napa-practice yung problem solving skills. Okay?
Yeah.
Another area or holistic development is sets them up for leadership. So one of the things that we encourage when kids are playing outdoors is yung tinatawag na risky play. So when we talk about risky play, it's the kids taking chances, not knowing what to do. Not knowing the outcome when they do it. So kapag, for example, they find a log and they balance on the log, then kasi you have a tendency to fall. So hindi mo alam mahuhulog ka ba or will you balance for a long time. So So it's them allowing them to be comfortable in making mistakes na hindi nila katakutan ang magkamali. As compared sa mga traditional schools na, o pag bumagsak ka, failure ka na. Yung ganon. So I read something, an interview kay Angeline Tam. So she's the founder of Angkas. I will read it ha. So in her interview, she said that entrepreneurs are risk takers. Failure is part of entrepreneurship, and overcoming it will make you and your business more resilient. So, if you want to raise leaders, social disruptors, then, let the kids take risks. Best way to do that, nature and play. And finally, I think it's, ano ba to, hindi siya masyadong well, I guess it's a natural outcome that when kids are outside in nature is that they become stewards of the environment. So because the nature is their playground, they become stewards and they really will take care of the environment. So sila yung mga nagiging tama ba, conservatives, and activists.
Yeah. Okay. Teacher Shawi, I'm curious. Is it as easy as it sounds? Taking the children outdoors?
Right. So that's a good question. It is. It is. It sounds as easy. Ano ba? Sorry to. It's as easy as it sounds. However, sometimes I see, the tendencies of adults, the parents or the teachers. Although meron talaga silang good intention, but sometimes yung intention na yon to serve the kids are more, they become barriers to the skills of the children instead of supporting the children's learning. So I want to share with you 3 mistakes that adults should avoid when going outdoors and letting the kids play. First mistake is that they're making it a big event. What do I mean by that? So for example, yung mga parents na or yung mga families na hindi talaga outdoorsy. So they think na, ay naku, dapat sa forest yan. So maghahanap pa sila ng forest before going out. Or they will think, ay okay, one time, big time, pumunta na lang tayo, mag-camping na lang tayo, schedule natin sa birthday niya. So, they will just do it one time in in a forest setting. But, they end up not going kasi parang na-overwhelm na sila kasi asan tayo maghanap ng forest or kailan pa tayo lalabas? Okay? So, I'd suggest, that you can take baby steps. Kahit na sidewalk lang. I see families going outside kahit na sidewalk lang. Because even if you're in a sidewalk, may mga puno pa naman di ba? Merong langit. You can hear the birds chirping. Okay? So do not make it a big event before you decide to go out. Take baby steps.
So
And then, go.
basically what you're trying to say is for as long as there's little nature, it's considered outdoor.
Oo. I mean, lalo na ngayon na pandemic, parang very limited ang mga bata. I believe, alam mo yun, parang
Yeah.
don't stress too much about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
because when I hear the name forest school, I think that I have to go to a forest in order to learn.
Right. Oo, yun din yung misconception. So
Yes.
meron talagang ideal situation. Ideal oo sa forest. Pero wag mo nang hintayin na makahanap ka pa ng forest before you decide to go out. It's
Oh,
okay, 'di ba? It's okay to start small.
Teacher Shawi, what about like now, the pandemic? I'm scared to go out. What advice do you have for me and my kid?
Yeah, so for kids, for families na scared to go out, I cannot really impose or decide for the parent. I will just be presenting na ito yung benefits sa mga anak mo Pero I do not want to be accountable na, kasi sinabi ni Teacher Shawi, labas daw kami. Tapos catch nila yung, yung virus, di ba? The
Okay.
bottom line, nasa magulang pa rin yon. So the families that I tell you about na naglalakad lang sa sidewalk, they practice protection. So the kids wear a mask and they are socially physically distanced from other people. So nasa sayo na rin yung safety measures, but if you're really scared, I really cannot force it. I respect your decision as a parent. Siguro what you can do is you just bring the nature indoors. Buksan ang bintana so
Yeah.
you can have a view, or
Yeah.
bring plants. 'Di ba kaya nga nauso yung mga plantitas at plantitas because it purifies the air daw.
Yeah. Now, Teacher Shawi, if they want to know more about the forest school, where can they contact you?
Okay, so if you want to know to find out more about Forest School, I'm in social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can just search Forest School Philippines. We also have a website, forestschoolphilippines.com. Um, I also want to invite the parents because so at this moment, yung Forest School sessions are suspended, and some parents are really, hindi, ano ba yung term doon? Cabin fever. Yung parang kating-kati na lumabas. There are some brave parents who really want to go outdoors. So with that, I came up with a coaching program, um, which is called Braving the Outdoors. Hang on, I want to share it with you. I want to share a slide with you.
Okay. And
Paano ba?
Teacher Shawi, if you have any other projects also, can you please share your projects with us?
Yeah,
I'm
so ito, yeah. I want to share you yung coaching program. So it's a 4-month group coaching program for parents and teachers to forest school their kids. Okay? Can you see ba nagmo-move ba yung slide o hindi? I'm on the second slide.
No, you're still on the first slide. Okay, now you're on the second slide.
Okay, teki-teki. Okay. So, ang framework ng Braving the Outdoors is for you to be brave at the end of the coaching program. B stands for brilliant. At the heart of Forest School is the child. So your end goal is to help bring out your child's brilliance. We also want you to be reflective. So when you observe your child, you ask yourself, what went well? What can you improve on? And what did the child learn today? We also want you to be adept. So you'll display knowledge and skill on safety, the environment, and the pedagogies. We also want you to be vibrant. So in forest school, this is the type of education that leaves you energized and enthusiastic. Yung hindi ka haggard and stressed. And finally, we want you to be eloquent. So we want you to be able to tell your child's story in a way that your loved ones will understand, even if forest school is a new thing or it's unheard of. So here's the pathway. Sa how to go from scared to brave using the 6-step shift. I will
Okay.
show you the
Yeah.
6-step shift. So lesson 1 is shed. Shed your education story, and then we will go back to the brave framework where we will learn how to value yung review and reflection. Lesson
Okay.
2 is shift, where I will introduce the forest school principles. Okay. Lesson 3 is shape. We will talk about risk management, holistic development, and the other pedagogies. Lesson
Okay.
4 is spark. So this is the domain na hindi masyadong pinag-uusapan or hindi masyadong tinuturo sa schools. So this domain is approach to learning, which I am quite excited about.
Okay.
Lesson 5 is strive. So you will strive and you will define your role as a facilitator when you're outdoors. And
Okay.
lesson 6 is seize. Lalabas na talaga tayo. Okay? So what are the skills that you will learn? Flora and fauna identification, environmental impact, and woodland management.
Okay.
Okay? So what is inside? Okay? The training modules. So yung training modules, it's online and self-paced. So you can learn in any place, kahit nasa Boracay ka or in Manila, anytime that suits you. So there are 6 training modules you can access in an online portal. What's
Okay.
also inside is the group coaching and mastermind calls. So itong calls, they are interactive classes with group discussions, presentations, and sharing of observations ng mga photo or video recordings. So this is the accountability you're looking for. You will really be as a student of uh, this program, you will really be the spotlight kasi you will have to do the work. Private high touch connection. So you'll have access to the Facebook group. You will not be left alone to process the learning. So you will be with other students, and this will be a safe place where we can come together and talk about our struggles and growth as a community. You know, this is one thing na hinanap ko noon when I was studying about forest school kasi nga wala namang ibang forest school leader sa Pilipinas na I can easily, ask. Okay? And finally, yung affordable coaching. I want you to invest in yourself and spare yourself from wondering, tama ba 'tong ginagawa ko o hindi? Yon. So the small investment you make on yourself will have a lifetime impact on your children or on your students as long as you show up and do the work consistently. Okay? So if you want more information, please proceed to our website, forestschoolphilippines.com/BTO. And BTO stands for Braving the Outdoors.
Okay. Exciting. Pwede ba mag-enroll, Teacher Shawi?
Sure, oo, kasi the program, thank you for asking. The program will start na on December 3. So that's about, ano ba, 9 days to go before the program starts.
Oh, exciting. Exciting.
Yes. So
Okay.
that's
Uh,
it.
okay. Um, do our viewers have any questions, Teacher Shawi? I can't see here kasi.
Oo nga eh. I think wala naman. Wala namang questions. More on comments lang. Yan.
Uh,
So, thank you.
Teacher Shawi, thank you very much. I think I'm more informed now. Kasi akala ko forest, maghahanap ako ng forest eh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. Okay? Thank you for clarifying and more power to your forest school program.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.